could. Sorry, but I don't lose.
Hey everyone, I'm back with another Kingdom Hearts theory. Before I begin the theory, I would like to actually point out that it has been a while, quite a while, since I did another theory video that has to do with Kingdom Hearts. And the reasoning for that is because, well, it's really hard for me to talk about things that have to do with Kingdom Hearts that hasn't already been said, because there are so many other YouTubers out there that are the goats when it comes to popping theory after theory after theory. And out of the risk of sounding repetitive or sounding like I'm taking an idea from somebody or something like that, it's really hard for me to come up with ideas that it really puts me in that situation where it's what can I say that someone else hasn't already? But then again, I guess sometimes eventually we do overlap with one another. But anyway, I digress. Today I want to talk about I believe I have a possible idea of why the Master wants to kill the Darknesses. Not necessarily kill them, but why he wants them to appear in Quadratum, and why exactly he needs them to be defeated in Quadratum specifically. So, I think the whole thing has to do with going back to what we know about how the universe of Kingdom Hearts operates. So, it's stated in Kingdom Hearts that everyone who dies creates a Heartless. Everyone who dies creates a Heartless. Because everyone has darkness in their hearts. And darkness exists in everyone's heart. I say everyone with air quotes because we know that there are specific 7 girls who don't have any darkness inside them whatsoever. So unless you're a Disney princess, you're pretty much as pure as the day you created God created Eden. Sorry, I said that wrong. Messed up. So yeah, everyone has darkness inside of their hearts, unless you're a Disney princess. In which case, yeah, you're as pure as the day that God created Eden. They don't seem to have darkness in their hearts whatsoever. But everyone has darkness in their hearts, except for them. Except if you're a princess of heart. But the thing about the darkness is that every time someone dies, not all the time, they create a nobody. Only people with specific willpower will actually create a nobody. I still believe that, maybe if you have, a little bit of willpower, you'll probably become one of the lesser nobodies, but, we're talking about, Xemnas, or Zexion, or Marluxia, as, I always used to call it Marluxia when I was little. But yeah, unless you're one of those guys, you won't become a nobody unless you have an extremely powerful will. And pretty much, it doesn't matter of your willpower. Apparently, it seems like if you just die in general, it doesn't matter who you are, you will create a Heartless. As powerful as Mickey is with the light, he does have darkness in his heart. He's not exempt from this rule. If Mickey was to die, he would actually produce a Heartless, because he does have darkness in his heart. And people like the Final Fantasy crew, for example. So people like Leon, Yuffie, Cloud, and if we ever get to see the other Final Fantasy characters, I guess their Kingdom Hearts versions would also count in this regard as well. But the point is that people like Leon and Cloud, Tifa, they can kill the Heartless, but it's stated that without the actual Keyblade, the Heartless just die. No, they don't die. Their hearts don't get released. They just go back to 0 point. Or the World of Darkness, or the Dark World, it has multiple names at this point. But basically, unless you have a Keyblade, you can't really release the heart inside of the Heartless. That's why, like, Sora... That was the whole point of Xemnas with his plan in Kingdom Hearts 2. Spoiler alert, that, like, yeah, he wanted Sora to kill a certain number of Heartless so that they collected the hearts in order for him to, you know, create his big master plan. So, because only the Keyblade can actually... In regards to Kingdom Hearts, only the Keyblade can actually defeat the Heartless while also releasing the heart that's captive inside of them. But in Yazora's world, that doesn't seem to be the case. Now, I don't remember who talked about this. If my memory is correct, I believe it was HMK that I saw talk about this. But it's like this thing that's on the back of Yazora's box art in the actual, like, game of Kingdom Hearts 3, that in Yazora's world, people become crystallized. Like when they have, like, a certain amount of, like, karma or something like that. Like, the whole thing has to do with karma, where Yozora comes from. As far as we know, there is no realm of light, there is no realm of darkness. So essentially, if a Heartless, you know, on that line of thinking, if a Heartless was to die over there in Yazora's world, then they necessarily wouldn't be, you know, their hearts most likely probably wouldn't escape back to the realm of darkness. There is no realm of darkness, as far as we know. There is no realm of darkness for them to escape to in Yazora's world. I think the Master wants to use that to his advantage. I think he wants to crystallize the 7 deadly darknesses. And the way I came up with this idea has to do with going back to Dante Alighieri's, or as the Divine Comedy, or as most people know it as, Dante's Inferno. Now, I want to mention Dante's Inferno here because I think it's implicable, because in Kingdom Hearts, the different trios, at least in my opinion, I've noticed that the different trios you can connect them to different mythologies. Sora, Riku, Kairi kind of remind me of Shinto mythology, while Terra, Aqua, Ventus, but also Shion, Axel, and Roxas, you could say that they're a Greek and a Roman tragedy. While the Master of Masters and his apprentices, I see a lot of Christianity and biblical references with them as well. So, how do I tie the Master's plan and what I think he wants to do with the darknesses to Dante Alighieri's The Divine Comedy, aka Dante's Inferno? Well, in Dante's Inferno, the Master of... Sorry, I got sidetracked. In Dante's Inferno, Lucifer, the devil, he's in the lowest pit of hell, which is treachery, for committing the treachery against God. And instead of it being like this giant raging inferno, it's actually a glacier, this crystallized, icy landscape where everyone is pretty much crystallized. Everyone is in crystal stasis. Exactly what happens in Yazora's world.
How could... Sorry, but I don't lose.
And in the Final Fantasy franchise, specifically I hope I'm saying this right, the Fabu Crystalla series, crystallization is nothing new, you know, like in Final Fantasy, there's been lots of people that has been crystallized. Crystallization is a really big thing when it comes to Final Fantasy 13, when it comes to that phrase that they use where, like, you fulfilled your focus, you know, some stuff like that. I believe this to be a big essential part of the Master's plan. So, case in point, I believe the Master wants to get the 7 deadly darknesses to Quadratum, but first they need vessels, which he did that part already, by making himself a vessel as well as his apprentices. Now, going off of my theory, my second theory about how we could use the extraction method that Xehanort used on Ventus to create Vanitas, I believe that that's how we're going to get the darknesses out of them. Or maybe now with this new theory, maybe we'll just crystallize them in general. But I do believe that what the Master wants to do to finally get rid of the darknesses is to actually crystallize them, to put them in crystal stasis. Again, going off of what Final Fantasy and Dante Alighieri, since there's a lot of Christianity with the Master of Masters, I believe that, yes, I do heavily believe that his whole plan is to crystallize them. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll take that on the chin. That's part of what makes these theories so, like, fun, is to just theorize and, like, see how far deep down the Wonderland rabbit hole you can go. So, I really believe that, like, the Master wants to get rid of the darknesses by crystallizing them, by imprisoning them. Let's just say, for example, someone is strong enough to actually beat one of the darknesses in the Kingdom Hearts universe. That will just send them back to the realm of darkness. I think doing this method, it finalizes what the Master wants to do, which is to end the war that's been going on for years, to end this cycle of constant battles between light and darkness, to end what is essentially...
Let us mark the end of this eternal conflict.
And that is my Kingdom Hearts crystallization theory. I will try to see when's the next time I can get one of these out again. But until then, God bless you all. Be kind to one another. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will see you all in the next one.